Politicians often make grand promises during their campaigns, but unfortunately, many of these pledges fail to materialize once they're in office. Furthermore, the public's trust in politicians is frequently eroded by scandals, lies, corruption, and questionable deals made behind closed doors to further their personal gain. Additionally, it's not uncommon for politicians to sit on boards of companies and use their influence to sway policies and contracts in their favor. These are just a few examples of why the general public has a hard time trusting those who hold political power. Today we are talking about Sihame El Kaouakibi.
Ik ben Sihame El Kaouakibi. And I'm here to shake up the status quo. Ik ben hier om keihard voor jullie te werken. En om een stem te geven voor de mensen die te weinig gehoord worden. Wij, allemaal. All in.
She is a Belgian politician, entrepreneur, and social activist who was embroiled in a major corruption scandal in 2021. She founded several social enterprises, but the main one we will be talking about is Let's Go Urban, which aimed to empower young people through art, dancing and culture programs. She also served as a member of the Flemish Parliament and was considered a rising star in Belgian politics. When she became Bart Somers' running mate in Open VLD, he regarded her as some kind of soulmate and the future of inclusive politics. The party offered her €50,000 to support her campaign. However, in early 2021, allegations surfaced that she had used Let's Go Urban as a personal piggy bank, funneling funds towards her personal companies, invoices towards family and friends for services that weren't provided, and expensive additions to her own properties. Private emails and documents were leaked to expose this. There are several examples where she ordered very expensive plates and cutlery to be paid for by the non-profit, not delivered to one of her private homes. Even though this order was eventually cancelled, it shows the level of corruption. Another one was where she had a closet renovated in her private property. Not just some ordinary closet, it was priced at a whopping €3,600 and paid for by the non-profit. Her claim was that the court had been waiting for these documents for several weeks to process, but now they were being put out in the public by a news organization. She appeared to be portraying herself as the victim in this situation, as the documents weren't supposed to be leaked. But this put her in a very bad light in the public.
En mensen hebben mij gewaarschuwd toen ik in de politiek stapte. En ik heb altijd gezegd van kijk, ik weet dat dat een harde steel is. Ik weet dat dat een harde sector is en het hardste in uw eigen partij. Maar ik had zoiets van, weet je wat, ik maak dit wel al eerder mee. Ik maak dit al 10 jaar mee, want als je op de barricade staat, dan maak je dat mee. Dan krijg je de wind van voren. Maar het wordt erger en erger.
Additionally, she falsified invoices for services that were never provided, inflated expense claims, and payments to individuals and companies with close links to Sihame personally. Some of them were family members. Out of the total 202 invoices for Let's Go Urban, 131 appeared dubious or fraudulent, accounting for an aggregate amount of almost €2.5 million. Only 71 invoices appeared genuine. Furthermore, some invoices had text elements overlaid with other information, indicating possible tampering. The allegations of financial misconduct were first reported and later confirmed by an audit commissioned by the Flemish government.
Maar ik ga vooral blijven doen wat ik tot nu toe heb gedaan. Alleen op een nieuw podium. De politiek. Ik ga netwerken opzetten, mensen verbinden, nieuwe Belgen, oude Belgen, babyboomers, millennials, generatie X, Y, Z. All in economy. Een betere welvaart voor iedereen.
She diverted government subsidized funds meant for underprivileged youngsters to her own personal accounts, businesses, and to add to her private properties in the form of furniture and such. In a state of panic, she rushed to the police to file charges for forgery, computer fraud, and hacking, a way of trying to provide her some cover story and in an attempt to put the blame on her employees. An investigation by the Belgian government found that she had misused over €1 million in public funds intended for the organization. It wasn't just one organization. She had established a series of non-profits that were provided subsidized funds for various projects. However, delving into the intricate details would likely be a bit boring, so I'll spare you the nitty-gritty. She eventually resigned from her position in the political party she was a member of, but remained a member of the Flemish Parliament. She was confronted with legal action when prosecutors accused her of forgery, embezzlement, and money laundering. While she denied the allegations, claiming they were motivated by politics, racism, or sexism, she dismissed the discrepancies as mere disorganization or poor and messy bookkeeping. The scandal received significant media attention in Belgium and raised concerns about transparency and accountability in the use of public funds. It also sparked a broader conversation about the role of social enterprises and the need for stronger oversight and regulation of such organizations.
Het is maart, het is de maand van de vrouw. Nu, we zijn 52% van de wereldbevolking. We zijn een meerderheid, geen doelgroep meer. Een meerderheid om rekening mee te houden. En om eindelijk eens degelijk te behandelen. Ik ga naar New York voor het UN-congres State of the Woman. En mijn staat is momenteel minder positief. Ja? Na enkele dagen na een stuk aanvallen, seksistisch, racistisch.
When the scandal became public, she tried to sell off her properties swiftly to possibly funneling off the funds away. She inadvertently alerted the Antwerp government, resulting in increased pressure to take action against her. Consequently, her properties were confiscated until the case was resolved to prevent her from liquidating her assets and siphoning off the proceeds. The seizure of her assets may result in the city of Antwerp recouping some of the subsidies it provided to Sihame's non-profit organizations.
Dat is pijnlijk. Wij zullen ons helaas moeten aansluiten in het lange rijtje van private bedrijven en publieke overheden die zijn opgelicht naar alle waarschijnlijkheid door mevrouw El Kaouakibi voor enkele honderdduizenden euro's en dat is uiteraard een bijzonder pijnlijke vaststelling.
Sihame consistently exploited government subsidy programs meant to cover the daily operating expenses of non-profits. However, there were either no invoices to substantiate the claimed costs, or they were exceedingly ambiguous. Additionally, the Flemish government was at fault for disbursing funds too easily based on vaguely defined requests. The oversight was either grossly inadequate or completely absent. She has been absent from the Flemish parliament for nearly 2 years, left her party and provided a doctor's note to justify her prolonged absence. Despite her absence, she remained a member of the parliament and continued to receive her full salary of about €6,000 a month, much to the dismay of the public. This was particularly controversial, given the seriousness of the corruption scandal she was involved in. While most workers would receive only a fraction of their salary after the first year of illness, members of the parliament were entitled to their full wage even during extended sick leave. However, in light of this case, new rules were introduced for members of the Flemish parliament. After a month of being ill, their salary would be reduced to around 60% of their usual pay. Nonetheless, this still amounts to an average of approximately €3,500, significantly more than what most workers would receive in similar circumstances. After a period of non-payment of taxes, the government ultimately confiscated the woman's wages to cover her outstanding debts. Despite her objections and claims that she was unable to support herself without this money, it was determined that the funds should be diverted to the unpaid taxes. Interestingly, she was still renting out an expensive vacation property in Belgium. It has been revealed that the woman in question has amassed a significant amount of wealth in property and land, totaling around €2.5 million. This accumulation of property began in 2016, when she purchased 2 portions of land in Belgium. Just 2 years later, she acquired a large villa with a pool adjacent to this land, which she proceeded to rent out for €650 per month through services like Booking and Airbnb. In 2020, she made even more high-priced purchases, including a building in Antwerp featuring 5 bedrooms, a gym and a wine cellar, valued at an astonishing €815,000. It was later revealed that she used subsidized funds to purchase expensive furniture for this property. In addition, that same year she purchased another property worth €750,000, further adding to her already substantial real estate portfolio. It appears that the woman in question has little regard for shame, as she has refused to step down from politics despite being embroiled in a corruption scandal. In fact, she has even gone so far as to request that 2 employees be provided to her until the end of her term, and has launched a lawsuit in pursuit of this goal, framing it as a battle for democracy. While it is possible that she may have a legal right to these employees, her actions suggest a lack of self-awareness regarding her trustworthiness as a politician going forward. More recently, the woman in question weighed in on a tragic incident involving Bart de Pauw, seemingly using the opportunity to make the issue about herself. She claimed to understand the negative impact of being cancelled and how it can affect someone's life, despite the fact that her own actions have contributed to her current predicament. Despite projecting an image of authenticity and commitment to diversity and inclusion in public, testimonies from employees depicted a contrasting reality. They spoke of hidden camera surveillance, intimidation, and fostering a climate of fear in the workplace, micromanaging their Facebook activity regarding liking or commenting on certain posts. The company used software to meticulously monitor every second of employee activity, including breaks and bathroom breaks, with the expectation that workers would pause the timer when not working. Although it may be fitting for politicians, her public persona was vastly different from her true character, a tyrannical, micromanaging bully behind the scenes.
In samenspraak met mijn advocaten heb ik dan ook besloten om dit niet zomaar te laten gebeuren. Hoe hard sommigen de publieke opinie ook hebben proberen beïnvloeden om mij te criminaliseren, zij zullen niet zomaar slagen in hun opzet. Zij die hun aanval hebben ingezet om vervolgens zelf in het holst van de nacht van het toneel te verdwijnen, zij zullen niet slagen in hun opzet. Zij dwingen mij hierdoor om de bevoegde diensten te vragen om hun handelen en nalaten in detail te ontleden. Ik vraag u niet om mij zomaar op mijn woord te geloven. Ik vraag u om het verder onderzoek af te wachten en pas nadien te oordelen. Op basis van gecontroleerde informatie, op basis van vakkundig nazicht, op basis van feiten. En u hoeft het niet voor mij te doen. Ik ben maar een jonge vrouw met grote dromen en idealen. Maar doe het voor de jongeren, de vele jongeren die zich inzetten voor Let's Go Urban. Want zij zijn het waard. Zij zijn dat waard.